Okay, so I almost forgot a very important part of this, and that is the use cases. Okay, now we're just going to cover three use cases, one from each of the industry verticals. So we'll cover one from the financial services industry, one from healthcare, and one that's sort of within the manufacturing, distribution, sort of industry vertical. It's kind of a general finance. Okay, all right. So let's quickly look at these three quick use cases, just so you can get some inspiration. Okay, so this is a use case within the financial services industry. The FIS Systematics is a core banking system. There are many different core banking systems. So this would be a use case that would resonate with any retail financial institution. And with the use case here, this was a uh, well, it actually says twice a week. But this is a process where an analyst, so it was a loan data analyst, and they were tasked with um, performing an audit on savings accounts that I think had um, an overdrawn. You know how a savings account can you can overdraw on it, kind of like a loan. So he was tasked with performing this audit, and it was a process that was done every 2 weeks. I think it was done kind of in the beginning of the week, again at the end of the week, and each time it took them about 2 hours. And you had multiple spreadsheets, CSV files, a lot of manual copy and paste and formulas and pivot tables and copy from this pivot table to go here. And that 2 hours twice a week is basically 4 hours, which how we get the 240 minutes. And they are able to accomplish that process now with Monarch in 10 minutes. Okay. Healthcare. This is one of my favorite healthcare use cases. We were doing some work with a healthcare provider, and um, the reimbursement analyst had a monthly process that took them 3 hours. And what they were tasked with doing was um, they would get what's called an 835. So they would get an 835, which is basically a confirmation of payments from a healthcare insurance provider. So in this situation, it was Elevance Health. So they would get these 835 files from the insurer, and what they wanted to do was basically take those 835 files and compare them against what was posted in their Epic EHR uh, system. And, basically compare them, reconcile them. And it used to take 3 hours. It was very manual. Well, the 835s came in as a raw file. They used another application to convert them to spreadsheets. But long story short, you got the 835 spreadsheets versus the Epic spreadsheets, and it used to take them 3 hours. Now, of course, there were other things. There were other lookup files and descriptions, but it used to take them 3 hours. And now with Monarch, again, they're able to do this monthly process in 10 minutes. Probably a little less than that, but give or take. Okay, and then the last one here, very simple uh, trend analysis here. So this is with the Oracle NetSuite. And we are doing some work with a senior accountant there. And what they wanted to do was very simple. They would get a vendor trend. So they would download this spreadsheet out of Oracle NetSuite, and they just wanted to trend the data. They wanted to say, hey, out of all these vendors, how much have we? I think it was out outstanding actually. So it's almost like it's like an accounts payable. How much do we have outstanding for these different vendors? And I want to look at it on a rolling 12-month period. It was very challenging to do this in the spreadsheet because the data was, it was a lot of data. I think it was several thousand records. So Excel would spend a lot of time spinning. The pivot tables were not as agile. And so again, we were able to bring in the data into Monarch, clean it, organize it, and pivot the data, and then eventually summarize it in the analyze view so that the senior accountant could do her work. So this went from being, now it says it went from being 480 minutes, which I think was 8 hour, like an 8 hour workday, down to 2 hours. And that 2 hours is really, um, it's not 2 hours for the Monarch process, it's 2 hours for her review. I mean, the Monarch process itself was about, I mean, it's probably 3 minutes. But that time includes the 120 minutes is her the accountant's time to review this. Okay, all right. So those are just some, again, some very quick examples of use cases just to give you some inspiration that hey, Monarch could actually do some transformative things with spreadsheets.